During the journey, the relationship between the two became better and better, and Bulma unexpectedly discovered that after several battles, Goku's power level had begun to rise. Huh? Goku, your power level is actually a little higher. It's 11 now. Power level? What is that? In the evening, Bulma took out a mobile building to spend the night on their way to the east coast. After taking a bath, Bulma had picked up the scouter boldly and glanced at Goku, and discovered that the child's power level had changed. Power level is the intensity of your strength, and the higher the number, the more powerful you are, Bulma explained. Is that so? Then, what's your power level, Bulma? Goku asked curiously. Humph, it's 20. Bulma said proudly, among ordinary people, no Odin-ts my match. Wow! You really are powerful. Goku said enviously, Bulma, how did you become so strong? Bulma heaved a sigh, don't ment it on TT, I have trained under a horny old man for several years before I got to where I am today. Horny old man. Goku tilted his head. Don't mention it. Bulma waved her hand. But you, I should say, you are really worthy of being a Saiyan. You've slightly raised your power level in just a few days. If in the future, you keep fighting, you should be able to surpass me soon, right? Saiyan. Goku asked, Bulma, you keep saying I'm a Saiyan, what is a Saiyan? Saiyans are actually an alien race, they look like humans, but they all have tails, just like you, Bulma said. Ah. I'm not human. Goku touched his head, no wonder, my grandpa told me before that I actually fell from the sky. Bulma was amused by Goku's words and couldn't help laughing, you, if it weren't for the tail and the innate power level, you aren't like a Saiyan at all. Most of them are cool and short, Saiyans are very powerful aliens. Although you are weak now, you will definitely become stronger in the future. Speaking of this, Bulma clapped her hands, by the way, when we find Dragon Balls, do you want to visit my house? Several Saiyans come to my house every month for work, you can ask them about your birthplace. Okay. Goku nodded. The next day, they ran into a turtle that got lost in the mountains, just like in the original work. Only this time, Bulma not only did not object to Goku saving the turtle, instead she was the first one to recognize the turtle as Turtle Hermit's turtle. You stupid turtle. Turtle Hermit thought you were dead. I can't do anything about it. I didn't expect to get lost in the mountains. Turtle didn't expect that he would meet an acquaintance, and became glad. Can't help it then, since you're an acquaintance, I can't just see you die. As in the original work but not like the original work, Bulma brought the turtle, and after dealing with a tiger robber blocking the way, they arrived all the way to the seaside. To thank the two of them, the turtle told them to wait on the shore for a while before returning to the sea. Bulma, where is it going? How would I know? Maybe it's going to look for that horny old man. Horny old man. Sure enough, everything was as Bulma expected, and not long afterwards, the turtle swam over while carrying Turtle Hermit. Yo, are you the one who saved my turtle? Turtle Hermit greeted them from far away, but was immediately taken aback when he saw Bulma. Bulma? What are you? What? You didn't want to see me? Bulma sneered. No, no, no. Turtle Hermit smiled embarrassedly, but quietly wiped the cold sweat on his head. Making the promise to Lin Chen to teach the Bulma sisters martial arts was the worst thing Turtle Hermit feels he has done in his life. Because even though there are two young and beautiful girls hanging around in front of him every day, he doesn't have the guts to take a peek, afraid of their frightening background. But Bulma and Tights were also too controlling. When they were with Turtle Hermit, they wouldn't even let him teach yoga classes. They had suffocated him half to death and he sent them away with great difficulty. Don Te didn't expect to meet them again today. Bulma, we are all acquaintances, so I won't give you any gifts, how about it? Sure, you don't have anything to give anyway, eh? Bulma suddenly froze for a moment as her eyes fell on Turtle Hermit's neck, Turtle Hermit, isn't that Dragon Ball? Yeah. Turtle Hermit took out the Dragon Ball necklace from around his neck. I thought I had lost it, but during the recent cleaning, I found it in the Kame house. That's good. You can give me this as a gift. Just like in the original work, Turtle Hermit originally intended to put forward a condition, but when the words just came to his mouth, he suddenly thought about something and obediently handed the Dragon Ball to Bulma. Forget it, this girl is Tite's sister, and Tite's boyfriend is that powerful Saiyan. He can't afford to offend him. Turtle Hermit, this child was the one who saved me, said the turtle. Turtle Hermit straightened his sunglasses and put aside Bulma, then he turned to Goku and said, "Child, since you saved my turtle, I will give you a gift as reward." Then, just like in the original work, Turtle Hermit gave Flying Nimbus to Goku. Watching Goku ride the Flying Nimbus and fly like a bird in the sky, Turtle Hermit was suddenly stunned. Huh? Bulma, why does this child have a tail? Of course, because he's a Saiyan. What? Lin Chen and Tights had a baby? Turtle Hermit said in shock. Of course not. I met him in the mountains. His grandfather's name is Son Gohan. Turtle Hermit was stunned for a moment and called down Goku, and after confirming with him, he realized that this child is someone who was adopted by his former disciple, Grandpa Gohan. I didn't expect that the child adopted by Gohan would turn out to be a Saiyan. Saying goodbye to Turtle Hermit, the adventures of Goku and Bulma continued. Just like the original work, they got the 5th Dragon Ball in a small mountain village harassed by monsters, and at the same time caught a pighead called Oolong. In order to prevent Oolong from continuing to do evil, they tied Oolong and brought him together on their journey and met Yamcha, the desert bandit. After a fierce fight, Goku and his group continued on the journey, while Yamcha, unwilling to accept his defeat, followed them from far behind. As the adventure went on, no one, including Bulma, noticed that there had actually been someone watching their adventure silently above them. This person is Lin Chen, who has come to Earth. When he found that the storyline of Dragon Ball was about to start, Lin Chen immediately arrived on Earth and with a thinking as if he was on a pilgrimage, silently watched the great adventures of Goku and his group without anyone finding out. Although the adventure below, because of Bulma becoming strong, made the process somewhat different from what Lin Chen previously knew of, but fortunately the difference was not big. On this day, when Goku and his group solved the troubles at Fire Mountain and started looking for the last Dragon Ball, Lin Chen suddenly discovered that besides himself, there were other people watching Goku and his group from a distance. This key, is it Bardock? So he's actually on Earth? Sensing the other party's aura, Lin Chen smiled faintly and teleported over. Sure enough, at an altitude of almost 10,000 meters, Lin Chen saw Bardock, who he hadn't seen in 6 years. Beside him, there was a female Saiyan. Bardock. Bardock and the female Saiyan were startled and they heard someone calling him next to them. But when they found out that it was actually Lin Chen, the shock turned to joy. Your Majesty Lynx, you've returned. Yeah. Lin Chen nodded. I wondered why didn't I see you on Planet Vegeta, so you came to Earth? Your Majesty Lynx, this is my wife Jine, we actually came to see Kakarot. After Bardock's explanation, Lin Chen realized that in the past 6 years, Bardock and Jine managed to find time to come to Earth to see their child every year. After Planet Vegeta was shifted over, one can arrive on Earth in just 1 week using Galactic Patrol's latest high-speed spacecraft. It's just that they only quietly observed his growth from a distance every time. Bardock, are you trying to bring Kakarot back to Planet Vegeta? No. Bardock shook his head and smiled at his wife. Actually, Jine also had this thought, but sending Kakarot to Earth was your idea, Your Majesty. Moreover, I have seen some glimpses of the future, although they are only scattered scenes, but I know that Kakarot will start a new life on Earth in the future, which is very helpful for Kakarot's growth. Your Majesty, what's the reason for your visit this time? Me. I also came to see Kakarot. The future of this child is limitless. Really? Jine asked excitedly. She couldn't help but be excited about the future of her child. Lin Chen nodded. Yeah, I think, Kakarot may become a Super Saiyan in the future. Super Saiyan? Jine was stunned for a moment. That's the super warrior that only 2 people could transform into on the entire planet Vegeta. Her son Kakarot's current power level is only 10, how could he even become a Super Saiyan? Your Majesty, is this really possible? We can only wait and see. The future of Kakarot will be the Saiyans' future hope. This was Lin Chen's evaluation for Goku. Both Bardock and Jine were very excited when they heard this. Since seizing the throne of Saiyan King, Lin Chen's words have never been wrong. Since he gave such an evaluation, Kakarot's future is indeed limitless. Although Kakarot's power level is still pitifully low, since Lin Chen has said so, then he will eventually have the possibility Odinversal. Thank you, Your Majesty. Hearing you say that is enough. Then, Jine and I will go back first. Bardock prepared to leave. Don't bother, he'll send you guys with instant transmission. Using instant transmission to send the Bardock couple back to Planet Vegeta, Lin Chen also gave his potential a boost and Bardock's power level also greatly improved, then he returned back to Earth. At this time, the story of Goku and the others has also advanced to Emperor Pilaf. Although Goku has grown a little and had Bulma's help, the 2 of them are still very weak. So both of them fell under the trap of Emperor Pilaf, and their group was captured by Pilaf, and even the 7 Dragon Balls fell into the hands of Emperor Pilaf. When Lin Chen returned to Earth, Emperor Pilaf was holding the 7 Dragon Balls as he arrived in the square outside his castle. Is Shenron going to be summoned again? Lin Chen looked at the scene below and smiled faintly. If it follows the development of the original storyline, Shenron's wish will be wasted by Oolong. Although he planned to watch Goku and their adventures from the side, he has a rare opportunity to use Shenron, and he does not want to miss it. He. I, Pilaf, am going to rule over the world. In the square, Pilaf said excitedly. Beside him, the dog person Shu and Mai were equally excited. In the underground prison of the castle, Yamcha and the others were looking resigned. My Dragon Balls. Bulma was so angry that she went crazy and slammed punches into the wall. Every time she punched, it made the wall tremble violently, causing Yamcha and the others on the side to become stunned. They totally didn't expect that Bulma's body was hiding a strength even stronger than Goku. Although Bulma was very angry, her strength had little effect on solid walls. Damn it! Why can't I break it? I'm so pissed. My Dragon Balls. My wish. Aw. At this moment, Yamcha suddenly thought of a solution. By the way, Goku. Use Kamehameha. How did you know I know Kamehameha? Stop being so fussy, use it quickly. Bulma, who had heard the conversation between the 2, suddenly let out a roar like a lioness. Okay. Goku immediately took the stance and aimed at the wall, Kamehameha. After a white energy wave bombarded out, a small hole appeared in the wall. Although it can't let people escape, it could at least allow the little guys like Oolong and Puar to get out. Oolong, Puar. It's all up to you, go get the Dragon Balls back. At the same time, in the square, Pilaf finally summoned the Eternal Dragon. Come out, Shenron. As Pilaf's voice fell, the 7 Dragon Balls suddenly began to emit intense light rays, reaching the sky. Rumble. Rumble. Golden lightning, like angry electric snakes, struck down from the black night sky and hit the 7 Dragon Balls. Roar. As a dragon roar resounded through heaven and earth, the green figure of Shenron appeared above the night sky. Those who have gathered the Dragon Balls, tell me thy wish. I can help you realize any wish. The rough and resounding voice like a gong sound as it spread throughout the wilderness. Almost everyone present at the scene were seeing Shenron for the first time and couldn't help but be startled, becoming speechless for a moment. However, Pilaf quickly relaxed and opened his mouth, excited to speak his wish. But at this moment, a figure suddenly descended from the sky and waved his hand towards Pilaf's group. The next moment, a strong wind flattened the ground and directly swept Pilaf and the others into the sky, blowing them away. Immediately afterwards, the figure extended its fingers towards Oolong and Puar who were rushing towards the Dragon Balls. An invisible aura suddenly knocked into them, pushing Oolong and Puar directly back to the vicinity of the castle. Huh? Who is that person? What's going on? What is happening? Hearing the strange activities from outside, Bulma and the others, who were already in despair, rushed over and tried to see what was happening outside from the small hole. Finally, the three of them squeezed in front of the hole and their eyes fell on the figure. He is. Tears suddenly appeared in Bulma's eyes. Although he was quite far away, she had already recognized that person's back. It's him. He is back. It was Lin Chen who drove away Pilaf and his group and stopped Oolong and the others. In the original work, Oolong made the wish to Shenron, where he took advantage of a loophole to wish for a pair of underwear, and Lin Chen naturally wouldn't let him waste Shenron's wish like this. And it just so happened that Lin Chen already had his own plans for Shenron's wish. He flew over in front of Shenron and made a wish. Shenron, I want to ask first, can you make people immortal? Even gods cannot achieve immortality. I can't fulfill this wish. Sure enough. Hearing Shenron's answer, Lin Chen thought so. Shenron's powers have limits, and something like immortality seems to have already surpassed the powers of Shenron. Lin Chen made this wish in the hope that he and the people he cares about can live forever, but since Shenron can't do it, it doesn't matter. He still has alternative plans. Then do you know any method that can prolong life? In the yellow springs in the underworld, there is a divine water called the Fountain of Youth. It is the material used by gods to make the elixir of life, and mortals can drink it to prolong their life. Fountain of Youth. Well, I want it. Thy wish is very easy. The next moment, Shenron's eyes glowed with red light and a silver jar suddenly fell from the sky and floated into Lin Chen's hands. Lin Chen opened the jar and saw that there was some colorless, odorless, and unknown liquid inside. If one person took one sip, it would have the portions for about 3 to 5 people. Thy wish has been fulfilled, then goodbye. After saying that, Shenron retransformed into 7 Dragon Balls in mid-air, and after spinning a few times in the sky, they flew towards all parts of the world. Putting the Fountain of Youth into the system space, Lin Chen turned to look at the castle where Goku and the others were still imprisoned. Now that I have shown myself, I should meet them. Lin Chen smiled and then flew towards the castle. Seeing Lin Chen fly over, both Oolong and Puar were startled. They hurriedly turned into small animals and rushed back into the hole in the prison cell from where they came out. Not good, no Dontad. That weird person outside is coming over here. Oolong shouted in fear as soon as he returned back to his original appearance. Don't worry, I know that person. Bulma had stopped crying and said with a calm expression on her face. After a while, the wall broke open and Lin Chen flew into the prison cell. Hello. Brother Lin Chen. Whoosh. Bulma wanted to jump into Lin Chen's arms, but he caught her with both hands and put her back on the ground. Lin Chen stroked Bulma's head like in the past and said to her, Bulma, long time no see. Brother Lin Chen, I'm no longer a child. Lin Chen smiled and did not speak, instead he looked at the others. Seeing that Lin Chen had broken in so easily, Yamcha, Oolong and Puar greeted Lin Chen respectfully, their expressions stiff. On the contrary, Goku looked curious, and his face was full of naivety. Big brother, you are so powerful. I could only make a small hole in this wall with all my strength, but you actually broke it open. Lin Chen smiled and said, as long as you train diligently, you can do it too. Train diligently? But I've been training since my grandpa died. Ah. You also have a tail. Goku exclaimed, staring at the tail wrapped around Lin Chen's waist. Is this a real tail? That's right. Lin Chen pulled out the tail wrapped around his waist and shook it behind him. I am a Saiyan just like you. Saiyan? Mommy, they are aliens. Yamcha and the other two immediately stood upright against the wall. Little Goku looked at Lin Chen in puzzlement. At this moment, a rumbling sound suddenly came from the distance. Bulma took a step outside the wall and glanced over before immediately shrinking back. Brother Lin Chen. Those people have returned again. Outside the castle, a huge robot was rushing towards the castle. Sitting inside were Emperor Pilaf and his group, who had been sent flying by Lin Chen before. Damn it! Give back my dream of ruling the world. Emperor Pilaf yelled and slammed down a red button on the control panel. The robot immediately raised its right arm and a thick cannon's barrel extended out from the arm. Bang! The next moment, an artillery shell flew towards the castle. Be careful! Yamcha yelled, then tightly held Puar and fell to the ground. As if his life was depending on it, Bulong was trying to squeeze into Yamcha's arms. Only Lin Chen, Bulma and Goku stood still. Bulma believed in Lin Chen, while Goku didn't understand what it was. But a second later, a huge explosion erupted out from where the artillery shell had fallen. The tall castle was razed to the ground in an instant. Ha 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 ha. Looking at the disappearing castle, Pilaf laughed crazily. Shu and Mai wanted to cry but had no tears. Lord Pilaf, all our wealth was still in the castle. Shut up. What money? If I didn't kill them, it would be hard to dispel the hatred in my heart. However, as soon as Pilaf's voice fell, his eyes widened. Behind him, Shu and Mei's mouth opened wide as they stared at the monitor with wide eyes. They saw Lin Chen, who was completely unscathed, slowly float up from the ruins of the castle. Seeing Lin Chen float in the sky, Pilaf and the others stopped breathing for a while. After a while, the three of them screamed at the same time, "Ghost!" Just as the three of them were screaming, an energy wave flew through the air and pierced through the robot's armor. Rumble! Amidst the flames shrouding the sky, Pilaf and his group were once again sent flying. I'll be back. When Pilaf and the others disappeared into the sky, Bulma jumped over excitedly, Brother Lin Chen. We won. Yamcha and the others looked dumbfounded. But no one noticed that little Goku's eyes had been staring at the full moon in the sky, his eyes beginning to turn blurry. Roar! Suddenly, Goku let out a beast-like roar, and his body began to grow at a speed visible to the naked eyes. Ah! What's going on? Transformation. Lin Chen sighed and shouted to Yamcha and the others, get away from here. He's going out of control. Then, Lin Chen rushed outside with Bulma in his arms and distanced himself from Goku, who had transformed into Great Ape. Brother Lin Chen, what happened to Goku? How did he become a monster? Bulma asked in panic. He looked at the full moon just now. When Saiyans see a full moon, they would transform into Great Ape and fall into a frenzy. Goku is still young, and he will lose his rationality. Dantiar transforming into a Great Ape, Lin Chen explained. Hearing his words, Bulma looked at Lin Chen first, Brother Lin Chen, then you. Don't worry, I can control my transformation, and I also didn't look at the moon. Lin Chen said. Then, what should we do about Goku? Bulma asked anxiously. Don't worry, I'll take care of this. After saying that, he disappeared. By the time he reappeared, he was already behind Goku. Even if it's Great Ape transformation, his power level is just over 100. Sure enough, Goku has the halo of the protagonist. With a sigh, Lin Chen reached out and grabbed Goku's tail. Although he was unconscious, his fighting instinct caused Goku to sense that his tail was being grabbed. He twisted his huge body, raised his fist and smashed it down on Lin Chen. Bang! Lin Chen easily caught the fist that was bigger than his body, and then again exerted his strength. Goku's tail immediately fell to the ground, and his huge body began to shrink rapidly like a deflated balloon, and soon he turned back into his original appearance before losing consciousness. "Brother Lin Chen, are you okay?" Bulma ran over and asked in concern. "I'm fine, find some clothes to cover Goku, be careful that he doesn't catch a cold." Bulma turned around to look, only to find that little Goku was lying naked on the ground. At first she thought Goku was dead, but then she heard Goku snoring. "He turns out to be sleeping." Bulma folded her arms and sighed. "I heard Goku mention before that his grandpa was killed by a monster. Could this monster be him? It should be. Although he is only a child, a Saiyan after transforming into the great ape is not someone that ordinary humans can deal with," Lin Chen said. But looking at Goku who only has a dozen or so power level, Lin Chen suddenly thought of something. Now Goku's future rival Vegeta is much stronger than in the original work, and even his elder brother Raditz has a power level of more than 10,000. Should I also help Goku speed up his training? Ding! Detecting the host's hesitation about Goku's future, and activating the strongest selection system. Choice 1, let Goku grow on his own. Reward, common teaching material for key sense and one-time point. Choice 2, bring Goku back to Planet Vegeta. Reward, common teaching material for Kaioken. Choice 3, train Goku for 1 year and increase Goku's power level to 10,000. Reward, 1 bottle of 100% S-cell solvent. Is it up to me to decide the fate of Goku? Lin Chen grinned and began to ponder. To be honest, after seeing Planet Vegeta's growth when he returned, Lin Chen gradually became a little pessimistic about the things on Earth. When he told Bardock to send Goku to Earth, he did it since he knows about Goku's astonishing strength in the future, as well as the proof of Gohan's strength, who is a hybrid of a Saiyan and Earthling. In Lin Chen's view, once the development of Planet Vegeta stagnates in the future, Goku on Earth could be their last hope. But now seeing that all the developments of Planet Vegeta were going well, Lin Chen was somewhat dissatisfied with Goku's power level. After all, Lin Chen's normal state's power level has been raised too much because of the rewards for choosing missions. In terms of power level alone, perhaps even an ordinary Super Saiyan 2 level opponent can't compare with Lin Chen. So, for him, and for Planet Vegeta, Goku's help in the future is not essential, at least until he reaches Super Saiyan 3 state. The only value that the entire Earth can bring to Lin Chen is that as a bystander and a Dragon Ball fan, he can watch the familiar story unfold before him. Thinking of this, Lin Chen had already made his decision. System, I choose 1. For Goku, Lin Chen still decided to let nature take its course, at least until he has the ability to step into the universe. Lin Chen does not intend to interfere with Goku anymore. Thinking about it carefully, in fact, at the beginning, the increase in Goku's power level was not fast as he belongs to the type who accumulates slowly. Although the fights on Earth did not allow Goku to quickly grow into a strong expert, it gave Goku a solid foundation. It is these experiences that allowed Goku to be the first one to grow into an expert who could transform into Super Saiyan with a low-class warrior's talent in the future. Now, if Lin Chen interferes with his growth, it may indeed allow Goku to become stronger within a short period of time, but it may also stifle the possibility of his growth from then on, which is like forcing someone's talent for quick success. So, he should let him grow slowly. Ding! Confirming the host selection, the reward has been credited. In Lin Chen's system space, a video teaching material in the universal format was added immediately, and a time point was added in Lin Chen's attribute panel, further increasing time points by little. Not long after, little Goku finally woke up from his sleep. When he woke up, he had no idea about the transformation, but wondered why his clothes and tail were gone. Yamcha and the others had planned to hide it from Goku, lest he find it difficult to accept that he killed his grandpa, but Lin Chen broke the truth to him. Ah. So I killed grandpa? Sure enough, even a naive Goku, after knowing the truth, found it slightly hard to accept. Brother Lin Chen, you are so cruel. Bulma said. No, it's all for him. Lin Chen folded his arms and solemnly said to Goku, Goku, all of this is because you are too weak. If you are strong enough, you can maintain your will even after you have transformed. In the end it all boils down to lack of training. Listening to this, Goku clenched his fists and said as if he had made up his mind, Brother Lin Chen, can you train me? You want me to train you? Lin Chen looked at Goku and said coldly. Yeah. Big brother, you are so powerful, I want to learn from you. Goku said with a rarely seen serious look on his face. Okay, as long as you can hit me, I will teach you. Lin Chen said. Sure. Little Goku nodded vigorously, and then he adopted a stance that he was ready to go all out. But at this time, his stomach suddenly grumbled. Goku said embarrassedly, Oh, my stomach is hungry, can you wait for me to find something to eat? No need. Lin Chen threw a senzu bean to Goku, eat this. What's this? Little Goku curiously put it in his mouth and chewed, his eyes widening all of a sudden. Amazing. I'm actually full. And my strength has been fully restored. What is this? This is a senzu bean. You can fill your stomach with just one of them. Brother Lin Chen, do you have any more? Can you give me some? If you can hit me, I can give you some. Alright then. I'm going to attack. Little Goku readopted his stance, and after a loud shout, he charged towards Lin Chen. Although his aura was very powerful, there was quite a disparity in strength. With Goku's current strength, even if he wants to hit Lin Chen, it is impossible to do so. After playing around with Goku for a while, Lin Chen lost his patience. I'm going to strike back, be careful. What? As soon as the words fell, Lin Chen's tail whipped out and without giving little Goku any time to respond, he was knocked unconscious by Lin Chen's tail. Ah! Goku! Oolong and the others ran over, patted Goku on the head, and woke him up. Brother Lin Chen, did you hit too hard just now? Bulma asked, a little puzzled. Lin Chen shook his head and said to Goku, Goku, do you understand the disparity between us now? We are too far apart. You can't learn anything from me, on the contrary, you will likely die while training. Little Goku scratched his head, but there was no dejected expression on his face. He just said regretfully, Oh, it seems like this. Seeing his naive-looking face, Lin Chen smiled. Goku's simplicity may be one of the reasons why he can grow up so quickly in the future. Thinking of this, Lin Chen said, Goku, do you remember Turtle Hermit? Goku replied, Are you talking about that old grandpa? Of course I remember, he is the second strongest person I've ever met besides Brother Lin Chen. You should go look for him for training. He is your grandpa's teacher. With your current strength, he is the most suitable to train you. By the way, Bulma has also trained at Turtle Hermit's place. Now that Lin Chen has made a choice, he is not ready to change Goku's future. Moreover, Goku can indeed learn a lot of martial arts knowledge from Turtle Hermit. Really? That's great, he'll go to Grandpa Turtle Hermit's place to train and become stronger. Goku, he'll go with you too. Yamcha suddenly said. Master Yamcha? Puar said in surprise. Puar, I also want to become stronger. After meeting Lin Chen, I've realized how naive I used to be. I want to become stronger and become someone who will not lose to Lin Chen in the future. At least cannot lose to a woman like Bulma. Yamcha added in his mind. It is going to be quite difficult for you. Bulma said in amusement. Oolong, how about you? Puar asked. Ugh, I should forget about it. Bulma, can I go to the city with you? I've heard that there are a lot of girls in big cities. Oolong looked at Bulma and said. Well, although you're horny and disgusting. Just tell me if you will bring me or not. Just like this, after everyone decided their future path, they parted ways. Lin Chen pulled Bulma and Oolong and was the first one to leave with instant transmission. Looking at the three people disappearing, Goku couldn't help but say, "Brother Lin Chen's techniques are really amazing. I didn't even see how he left." Yeah. Yamcha also sighed, there are many powerful people in the world. West City, after saying goodbye to Goku and the others, Lin Chen and his group came to Bulma's house. Here, Lin Chen also met Tights and Dr. Brief's family after a long time. 6 years later, Tights has become more mature and feminine. Compared to Saiyans, 6 years was a tough time for Tights, who was an earthling. Therefore, after seeing Lin Chen, she couldn't help but tear up. Looking at Tights, Lin Chen felt apologetic as he hugged her and said seriously, "Tights, we have known each other for so many years. Will you marry me?" Tights quietly nodded like a mosquito. She had been waiting for these words from Lin Chen for a long time. What? At the side, Bulma's eyes widened in astonishment, why so soon? Bulma, what are you talking about? Tights have been waiting for so many years, Mrs. Brief reproached her. But Bulma stomped hard and angrily stormed into her room. Dear, Bulma. Tights stared at the receding back of her sister, trying to explain. But Lin Chen waved his hand and said, "It's okay, I know how she feels." Then, you. Tights knew that Lin Chen already has a Saiyan wife, so she didn't mind sharing her husband with her sister. But Lin Chen shook his head and said, "There's no need to say it, I just treat Bulma as my sister. In the future, she will meet the right person." A month later, West City. Lin Chen and Tights' wedding took place. The wedding was very grand. After all, Lin Chen's identity was the king of Saiyans. Although the wedding was held on Earth, Planet Vegeta prepared many wedding gifts for Lin Chen, including rare gems collected from various planets. In addition, as people from Lin Chen's side, Bardock and others were also present, and Han Asia was also present, giving Tights some guidance on the rules of the Saiyan royal family. On the Tights side, many of her friends had come, including Jocko and others, but it's a pity that Dr. Takuna Shinomori, who invented the first-time machine, is already dead. The wedding lasted for a day. At night, Lin Chen took Tights into the bridal house. The bridal house was also in West City, not far from Dr. Brief's house. After Lin Chen decided to marry Tights, he immediately bought it using a diamond the size of a fist. Before the wedding, the entire villa was renovated. When Lin Chen and Tights were finally alone, he took out the jar of Fountain of Youth. "Tights, take a sip of this." Although Tights was surprised, she didn't ask any further questions and took a sip. After drinking it, she asked, "What is this? It smells weird, is it poison?" "This is the Fountain of Youth that I got after I made a wish to Shenron. Don sip can prolong life by hundreds of years. As a Saiyan, you'll often travel to and from the universe. Tights, after you drink this, you don't have to worry about getting old." "When did I worry?" Tights smiled embarrassedly. But in fact, deep down in her heart, she was full of joy. There is no woman who would not hope to stay young forever and live forever. "Tights, it's time for us to go to bed." After the joyous event, Lin Chen hugged Tights' soft and smooth body and whispered in her ear. The lights in the room immediately dimmed. After the wedding, Lin Chen and Tights started their honeymoon trip. As the wife of the king of Saiyans, Lin Chen's honeymoon trip for Tights was naturally not simple. The two of them traveled to almost every planet under Saiyans' control. During this period, Lin Chen also had a rare moment of relaxation and rest. After his rebirth, for the first time, he did not spend his time on training, instead he spent it on properly enjoying life. But happy times are always short. As the king of Saiyans, Lin Chen doesn't have much time to relax. After the honeymoon, Lin Chen was ready to start training again. It is worth mentioning that Tights did not return to Earth after their honeymoon, but went to planet Yardrat. After knowing that Lin Chen's instant transmission could be learned from Yardarshan, Tights decided to go to Planet Yardrat to learn instant transmission. After all, Lin Chen spends most of his time on Planet Vegeta. Tights don't want to always wait passively for Lin Chen to come back to Earth, so she came up with the idea of going to Planet Yardrat. Moreover, don't forget, Tights' job is that of a novelist. What ability is more useful for a novelist than instant transmission where she can go wherever she wants? Speaking of power level, after Lin Chen used unlock potential, Tights' power level also surpassed 10,000, so Lin Chen didn't worry about her safety and sent Tights directly. Yardratians are a peace-loving race. They were hospitable, hated fighting, and readily accepted Tights' request. After confirming that Tights had begun training, Lin Chen left Planet Yardrat and was ready to set about with his own matters. For the current Lin Chen, the most important thing is naturally the reward obtained after traveling to another world. The experience card of Legendary Super Saiyan 2. Host, Lin Chen. Power level, 6.68 million. Bloodline, Legendary Super Saiyan Bloodline. Skills, Instant Transmission, Beginner Martial Arts Talent, Beginner Unlock Potential, Perfect Key Control. Techniques, Planet Destroying Ball, Death Beam, Killer Ball, Kamehameha, Afterimage Fist, Instant Kamehameha. Since traveling to another world, Lin Chen's power level has improved by leaps and bounds. Originally, after his power level surpassed 1 million, his training had greatly reduced, but relying on the rewards from the system, Lin Chen's normal state power level increased by almost 5 times. Coupled with the 50 times increase in power level due to Legendary Super Saiyan form, Lin Chen's power level has increased by more than 5 times compared to before. 300 million power level. After transforming into Legendary Super Saiyan, Lin Chen's power level not only broke through 100 million, but also exceeded 300 million. This number, from what Lin Chen could guess from another world's Goku and others' power level, may even be more formidable than Gohan's Super Saiyan 2 form. But there is no end, there are still many powerful enemies, so Lin Chen can't stop progressing. In addition to continuing to temper himself and improve his strength, what Lin Chen has to do next is attempt to learn further transformations. Ordinary Super Saiyan, in addition to the first form, there is Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3 form. Although Lin Chen's Legendary Super Saiyan is different from ordinary Super Saiyan, it should also have corresponding further transformations. However, this kind of transformation, even in the original work, has never been described, so Lin Chen had also been at a loss. Therefore, Legendary Super Saiyan 2 experience card he got through the mission this time is very precious to him. Although it can only be experienced for Dawn Tour, it is enough to show Lin Chen a way to become stronger. On this day, Lin Chen teleported to an unfamiliar and desolate ice planet. Don't look at it as if there is nothing here. When Lin Chen arrived, under the ice field, there was a secret base for space pirates. Lin Chen learned about this place after he went to the headquarters of Galactic Patrol and received a mission to exterminate space pirates. He accepted this mission so as to experience the power of Legendary Super Saiyan. Otherwise, how can he fully experience the power of Legendary Super Saiyan 2 just by transforming without fighting? System, use the Legendary Super Saiyan 2 experience card. After making preparations, Lin Chen used the experience card in the system space. When his voice fell, Lin Chen's aura suddenly began to soar uncontrollably. It was as if a switch was pressed inside his body, causing him to unconsciously transform into Legendary Super Saiyan form. 10 million. 50 million. 100 million. 200 million. 300 million. It didn't take long before Lin Chen's power level surpassed 300 million, and it still continued to rise. As Lin Chen's aura erupted out, the ice planet under his feet also began to shake violently, the terrifying aura causing an ear-piercing alarm to sound inside the pirate base in the depths of the planet. What's happening? Are the enemy attacking us? Monitoring room. What the hell is going on? In the base, the leader of the space pirates who looked like a shark shouted loudly. But he soon heard shocked exclamations from the monitoring room. "Boss, Scouter exploded. An energy source has appeared outside which has exceeded the upper limit of the Scouter." "What? Someone, quickly go out and see who is trying to make trouble in our place." Immediately, space pirates with power level ranging from several thousands to tens of thousands flew out from the secret entrance of the base. At this moment, Lin Chen outside was extremely surprised. After transforming into legendary Super Saiyan, he could sense that his strength was further increasing. 350 million. 400 million. 500 million. 600 million. Through his system, Lin Chen saw his power level finally stop at 660 million. The sudden power increase had finally stopped. The yellow-green aura surrounding Lin Chen's body was like boiling grease, surging violently. The yellow-green hair that was standing erect also became longer than before. The most exaggerated change was the sparkling yellow-green electric arcs around Lin Chen, circling the aura around his body. Crackle. Host, Lin Chen. Power level, 668 million. This is the legendary Super Saiyan 2 form. Lin Chen could clearly feel that his strength was overflowing. He couldn't wait to release his continuously emerging power. Just at this moment, a torrential storm-like energy wave flew towards Lin Chen from below. It was the space pirates who had flown out of the secret base and were attacking Dantichen. At this moment, Lin Chen's strength disparity had completely exceeded the understanding of these cosmic pirates. It's like how ants don't know how powerful people are. Although the pirates couldn't say the astonishing aura emanating from Lin Chen, they couldn't tell the disparity between them and Lin Chen based on the aura. Those who don't know are fearless. So, the space pirates launched attacks without any hesitation. Energy waves flew over like raindrops, but before they could approach Lin Chen, they were dispersed by the electric arcs on the surface of his body. Lin Chen glanced at them and a cruel smile suddenly appeared on the corners of his mouth, then he slowly raised his right hand. The blizzard that had been blowing on the planet suddenly stopped at this moment. The next moment, a green ball of light suddenly appeared in Lin Chen's hand. The ball of light was condensed with an astonishing amount of energy, and because the energy was too high, an effect similar to a black hole appeared and all the matter around it was sucked into the ball of light. Die! Lin Chen gently threw the energy ball at the group of space pirates, the energy ball slowly floating towards the group of people. But in an instant, the energy ball suddenly expanded, the dazzling light making the space pirates open their mouths wide. Although they didn't know how terrifying Lin Chen was before, when they saw the energy ball that could almost destroy the planet, all the space pirates immediately understood the terror of the person in front of them. But they were already too late. The terrifying energy ball engulfed the space pirates before falling all the way down and drilling deep into the planet. A few moments later, bright rays of light shone from the crack created by the energy ball as if fireworks had pierced through the planet. Spaceships hastily rushed out from under the ice field, trying to escape from the planet, but halfway through, they were swallowed by the lava ejected from the ground. Not long after, the ice planet completely collapsed and turned into powder with a loud rumbling sound. In the afterglow of the destruction of the planet, Lin Chen's figure appeared in space. He indifferently watched everything and suddenly burst into loud laughter. But at this moment, Lin Chen's laughter suddenly stopped. Like waking up from a long dream, Lin Chen broke out into cold sweat as if waking up after a nightmare. This is what I did. Looking at the planet that has been destroyed, Lin Chen kept gasping for breath. Did I actually destroy a planet just now? And he actually felt joy in doing this? What's going on? Lin Chen thought about it for a while, and was suddenly afraid. He guessed that he might have fallen into a brief period of rampage just now. But hasn't my legendary Super Saiyan bloodline already been improved, then why did I almost go berserk? When Lin Chen asked the system in his heart, the system replied, "Ding. The energy of legendary Super Saiyan 2 was too enormous, which has exceeded the controlling range of the improved bloodline. The host needs to improve his mental strength in order to effectively control his energy. Mental strength? Hearing this, Lin Chen immediately took out the last few fruits of Tree of Might from his collection in the system space, and devoured them without hesitation. As the Tree of Might's fruits entered Lin Chen's body, the pure mental power was continuously absorbed and refined by Lin Chen. Gradually, Lin Chen's mind completely calmed down. But Lin Chen could feel that as the number of Tree of Might's fruits he ate increased, the increase in mental strength began to become less significant. It seems that I still have to train my mental strength. A short 1 hour passed quickly. Lin Chen was floating in outer space, while experiencing the powers of legendary Super Saiyan 2 form as he silently summed up this short experience. Combined with the rampage just now, Lin Chen can basically confirm that the berserk phenomenon of legendary Super Saiyan was because of an individual's mental strength being weaker than physical strength. Compared with ordinary Super Saiyan transformation, legendary Super Saiyan has so much energy that the spirit of those with legendary Super Saiyan bloodline cannot control this energy. For example, Broly, and Kale of Universe 6, because of insufficient mental strength, went berserk after their transformation. Later, after Universe SXS Kale and Caulifla fused and transformed into Kefla, the reason why she was able to stay conscious is also obvious. Because Kefla at that time had the mental strength of 2 people, she could control the energy of legendary Super Saiyan form. As for Lin Chen, although his legendary Super Saiyan bloodline is the perfect bloodline, he cannot avoid the situation of going berserk. During legendary Super Saiyan 1, he was able to control it freely because of the improved bloodline, but when he transformed into legendary Super Saiyan 2, his spirit began to get out of control. Just now, Lin Chen became as vicious as Broly because his power had gone out of control. It seems that my next target should be to temper and strengthen my mental power. As for legendary Super Saiyan 2, as long as my mental power is enough, I can break through at any time. A mere 1 hour experience may not have been enough, but Lin Chen has already marked that feeling in his mind. He was confident that as long as he has sufficient mental power, he can successfully break through to legendary Super Saiyan 2 form. After that day, Lin Chen started a new round of training. In the blink of an eye, several months passed. Lin Chen was still training, and Tights who went to Planet Yardrat have not come back yet. Seeing that it was already the middle of age 750 year, he recalled that 21st World Martial Arts Tournament that little Goku participated in for the first time was about to start. Such an interesting thing, how could Lin Chen be absent? Just as he made an appointment with the Bardock couple and wanted to go to Earth to check out Goku's growth, something unexpected forced Lin Chen to interrupt his trip to Earth. Hannah is injured again. Hearing Paragus report, Lin Chen was taken aback. Paragus said, "I'm sorry, Your Majesty, you misunderstood. The Queen wasn't injured, but according to the news we just obtained, the Queen may be pregnant." Pregnant? Lin Chen was stunned for a moment. He was even more surprised compared to when he learned that Han-Asia might be injured. At his urging, Paragus hastily explained the situation. According to Paragus, something unexpected happened to Han-Asia while on a mission. This time, Han-Asia was leading an expedition army on a mission to protect a planet for the first time. This mission was entrusted by the Galactic Patrol Organization, and the difficulty of the mission was set at the highest difficulty. Because the enemy during this mission is King Cooler, who was listed as one of the 2 most dangerous people by Galactic Patrol after Frieza's death. He is Frieza's older brother. A planet called Ifrit was recently targeted by the Cooler Legion. Planet Ifrit is a civilization planet with a long history, extremely advanced technology, and claims to have the most comprehensive library database in the entire universe. After they learned the news, they immediately sought emergency assistance from the Galactic Patrol Organization. As Saiyan has become the support unit of the Galactic Patrol Organization, it was hurriedly dispatched to the location. The accident happened when Han-Asia arrived at the scene and started fighting. Planet Ifrit is a red-colored planet. The artillery fire and energy fluctuations from time to time caused the planet to look even more deeper red. At this time, a large spaceship that Galactic Patrol often uses flew over and stopped above the planet, but unlike the commonly seen Galactic Patrol spaceship, there was no Galactic Patrol's logo on the spaceship, rather it had a Saiyan logo. And this spaceship is of the Saiyan Special Squad led by Saiyan Queen Haneja herself. It was not Saiyans who were operating the ship, but some astronauts sent by Galactic Patrol to provide support to the Saiyans. As the spaceship began to enter into the atmosphere, one of them said, "Queen Hannah, Planet Ifrit is down below. We have detected Cooler's spaceship hovering over the capital of Ifrit. Then let's go down and deal with them. Prepare to open the hatch." Haneja ordered. But at this time, the pilot said again, "Wait, Queen Haneja. Planet Ifrit has sent a request just now, their evacuation convoy is under attack, please rescue them first." "What? But I want to fight Cooler." Hannah complained, but then said, "Fine, send us over first." At this time, on the ground, artillery fire rumbled and smoke filled the sky. A convoy of Ifrits escaping from the capital was being toyed with by a group of soldiers from Cooler Force. Ifrits are demi-humans with almost similar physique to Saiyans, but with red hair and pointy ears. Ifrits are not inherently capable of fighting like the Saiyans, but they are an ancient race with many high-tech technologies. These technologies have allowed the Ifrits to develop gears similar to Iron Man. With this equipment, ordinary Ifrits can also have a power level of more than 10,000. So in the universe, Ifrits are not a race to be messed with. But right now, the situation on the planet is a bit one-sided. The technological equipment that the Ifrits were so proud of could only scratch their enemies. Because this time, the enemy the Ifrits were facing was Cooler Force, which was famous throughout the universe. Compared with the former Frieza Force, which mainly relied on the large number of cannon fodder soldiers and a small number of elites, Cooler Force didn't have large numbers, but all of them were elites. The lowest level soldiers all had a power level of more than 10,000. And the most elite armored squadron of Cooler Force, although only has 3 members, but everyone has a power level of more than 100,000. They were quite infamous in the universe. Therefore, the disparity between Ifrits and their opponents on the battlefield was very big, and they had almost no ability to fight back. From time to time, armored Ifrits can be seen disappearing under the opponent's energy waves. The Ifrits in the convoy watched in grief and indignation as the warriors who were protecting them fell one by one, but suddenly, they saw a group of human warriors with long tails and black hair flying over. "Ha!" A member of the Cooler Force noticed the unidentified troops in the sky who were flying over and immediately notified his companions while turning on the scouter beside his ear to inspect the other party. "Lord Salza, it seems that Ifrit's reinforcements have arrived. Their power level is..." Before the alien could finish his words, his scouter suddenly exploded. Immediately afterwards, the scouter of other aliens also exploded because they could not withstand the energy. Upon receiving the news, Armored Squadron's Captain Salza, who was commanding the battle at the rear, couldn't help but fly into the sky, but immediately, he was stunned as he discovered that it was not the Ifrits who attacked, but Saiyans. "Idiot! It's Saiyans. Leave those Ifrits alone, get ready to fight." Even the famous Armored Squadron doesn't dare to be careless when they see Saiyans now. After all, over the past 6 years, the predicament of Frieza Force has told everyone how strong Saiyans are. Moreover, in the past, Cooler Force also came into contact with Saiyans many times. But after several battles, it basically ended in Cooler Force retreat in defeat. Salza had fought Saiyans before, especially when he met a Saiyan with a long scar on his face. That encounter, Salza will never forget, because he almost died at the hands of the other party. "Lord Cooler. Saiyans are here." Just as Salza's voice fell, those Saiyans had already rushed into the battlefield. The soldiers of the Cooler Force, who were tyrannizing the Ifrits just now, immediately experienced the grievances of the Ifrits. Facing the rushing over Saiyan warriors, most of them were not their match. Especially the female Saiyan leading them, she was like an irresistible force, killing everyone who blocked her way. The female Saiyan lightly waved her arm and countless energy balls that were as dense as drizzle fell down. As long as an alien was hit by them, they were turned into sieves. Cooler Force, which was originally small in number, was suddenly in imminent danger. But at this moment, a purple shadow flew into the sky. The power level revealed by the opponent caused all the Saiyans who were in the middle of the battle to stop. Unlike the scouter equipped by the Cooler Force, the Saiyans were used scouters from Earth, so they could clearly confirm the terrifying power level contained in that purple figure. Power level, 16 million. Queen Hannah. It's a frost demon. I've already seen him. Hanaja's eyes gradually became serious. Although the figure opposite her was purple-colored, which was completely different from Frieza, who was mainly white, the other's appearance and long tail looked almost exactly the same as Frieza's final form. No need to ask, and Hanaja knew that her opponent must be the leader of the Cooler Force, Frieza's eldest brother, Cooler. Everyone, step aside, let me deal with him. After saying that, Hanaja immediately transformed into Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan. Looking at the golden figure standing not far away, a trace of anger flashed in Cooler's eyes. These damn Saiyan monkeys. I run into them wherever I go. Do they want me to attack? Bang! The tail behind Cooler slapped against the air with a loud noise. But he didn't attack immediately, instead he got into a deadlock with Hanaja. The tense air stifled an atmosphere at the scene. Some Saiyans started discussing. Is that Cooler? What terrifying strength! He is even more powerful than Frieza. Don't panic, our Queen Hannah now has 18 million power level. That's right. Frieza is already dead, so what is even cooler? Female Super Saiyan, is she the one who killed Frieza? Cooler licked his lips with a deep and frightening look in his eyes. Cooler has been looking for a way to become stronger ever since he learned that Frieza died at the hands of a Super Saiyan. Unlike Frieza, Cooler has a cautious personality, and he won't take the initiative to provoke the Super Saiyan until he is absolutely sure of winning. Because of this, in the past 6 years when Lin Chen had gone to the parallel universe, Cooler Force has been using titanic of pulling back their defenses. But sure enough, it is not good to always be fleeing. Cooler clenched his fists and whispered, since I don't have enough strength to deal with that Super Saiyan, I'll deal with you first. In an instant, bloodthirsty murderous intent erupted out from him. Huh? Are you going to attack? Hanaja sensed Cooler's murderous intent, and suddenly laughed. Ever since she could transform into Super Saiyan, she has not been afraid to fight anyone except for Lin Chen. Even if they are frost demons. Drip, 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 a drizzle suddenly started to fall from the sky, and just as the raindrops fell on the two of them, the two experts' power level exploded out, surpassing more than 10 million, and they suddenly moved. Bang, bang, bang. The two of them swiftly moved and collided in midair. For a while, the sound of fists and feet colliding with each other could be heard. The blurry figures kept flying around like clouds in the sky. The soldiers on Cooler's side were completely unable to keep up with the two's movements, they could only hear loud sounds of collision in their ears. On the Saiyan side, although their eyes were beginning to keep up, many people closed their eyes at this time and began to use their ki to sense their movements. Ki sense. Since Lin Chen received the mission reward, he gave the general teaching material of ki sense to Planet Vegeta and began to spread it all over the planet. Although it has been only a very short time since he spread it, many of those warriors who often go out on expeditions have already mastered it. With ki sense, they were barely able to keep up with the speed at which the two were fighting. Damn it! Damn Saiyan! Why? Aren't the frost demons the strongest race in the universe? Why can't I defeat this Saiyan? Cooler nearly crushed his teeth. He has been training ever since he saw his younger brother's tragic death, but even so, he still hasn't been able to bridge the disparity with the Saiyan. Moreover, the one who he is fighting against is only the female Super Saiyan, when the one who killed Frieza is the king of Saiyans, who is the strongest Super Saiyan. The female Super Saiyan is only in second place. After 6 years of diligent training, I can't even defeat the second-placed Super Saiyan. Bang! Cooler was suddenly punched in the stomach with such a huge force that he almost vomited blood. But what was more difficult for Cooler to accept than the pain was the incomparable humiliation and anger. Cooler, the Emperor of the Universe. How can I lose to a woman? Watching Hanasia chasing after him, Cooler's tail suddenly lashed out towards Hanasia's face, trying to catch her off guard. This attack was originally just an attack in anger from Cooler, and he didn't expect any result. But to his surprise, Hanasia's movement suddenly slowed down a beat, and she was struck head-on. Hanasia was sent flying like a cannonball, and soon turned into a black dot in the sky. Cooler was stunned. How did I just now? On Saiyan's side, everyone was dumbfounded. Why did Queen Hanasia suddenly get hit? At this moment, 2 Saiyans suddenly whispered, "Hey, did you sense it?" What? Queen Hanasia's ki became weaker. What? How is that possible? In fact, it wasn't just the 2 of them. Saiyan, who had already learned to sense ki, noticed that Queen Hanasia's ki seemed to suddenly weaken. Some people didn't believe it, so they picked up the scouter and checked. Sure enough, they discovered that Hanasia's power level was constantly weakening. What's going on? Hanasia was just as puzzled. She had clearly just warmed up, how could she have gotten weakened? It must be an illusion. Hanasia once again boosted her aura and again charged towards Cooler, resuming the fight. After fighting for a while, as Cooler dodged, he found an opportunity and kicked Hanasia's chest again. Although Hanasia caught the kick with her hands in front of her chest, she couldn't get rid of the force of the kick and she was again sent flying far away. "Queen Hanasia, are you all right?" Someone immediately asked through the communicator. Hanasia managed to stop her body with great difficulty while her breathing got even worse than before. "Why is my ki weakening?" Hanasia was very puzzled, and at the same time, her hand unconsciously touched her stomach. Seeing Hanasia's movement, a female Saiyan's eyes, who was present at the scene, suddenly lit up and she said to Hanasia in a low voice on the communicator, "Your Majesty. Let's withdraw for now. Your body may have changed." "What? What's wrong with my body?" "Your Majesty, you may be pregnant." Hearing the conversation on the communicator, the other Saiyans were stunned. Pregnant? Many people suddenly realized. Female Saiyans, once they get pregnant, their power level will inevitably weaken. No wonder Hanasia's power level suddenly started to decrease. Seeing this, they immediately surrounded Hanasia, and while protecting her, they quickly evacuated the scene. Anyway, Ifrit's convoy had already left, and they had no reason to stay here to fight to the death. Seeing the Saiyans suddenly retreat, Cooler's subordinates also returned to Cooler's side. Salza asked, "Congratulations, my lord. You defeated that Super Saiyan." "Stupid. Didn't you see that they retreated by themselves?" "Sorry." Cooler cursed loudly and turned around to again look in the direction Saiyans were retreating, feeling suspicious. Strange, why did that female Super Saiyan suddenly become weaker? Is it a trap? Cooler looked hesitant, not sure what was going on right now. He wanted to pursue and kill the female Saiyan, and eliminate an obstacle for his full-scale war with the Saiyans in the future, but he was afraid that she was plotting something. After staring at the Saiyans' receding backs for a while, Cooler ultimately clenched his fists. Salza. Has Ifrit's database been moved away? Once the mission is completed, immediately leave this planet on a spaceship and wait for me in outer space. Lord Cooler, you are. I'm going to deal with those Saiyans. All of you, let go of me, I'm not finished fighting yet. Your Highness, please hurry back to the spaceship, we need to examine you. On the other side, Han-Asia was forcibly brought back to the spaceship by a group of Saiyans despite being very reluctant. In fact, halfway through the flight, Han-Asia couldn't maintain her Super Saiyan state and her power level dropped straight to 500,000. At the same time, on the way back to the spaceship, the rest of the Saiyans also quickly informed Planet Vegeta of the situation. Now that Han-Asia couldn't transform into Super Saiyan, the only one who can deal with Cooler is Lin Chen. When they returned to the spaceship, Han-Asia was immediately pushed into the medical machine. The spaceship was equipped with Galactic Patrol's medical equipment, which could immediately conduct a general physical checkup on Han-Asia. But soon after it was detected that Han-Asia was not pregnant, rather she had food poisoning. What? Food poisoning? When Han-Asia heard this news, she was so angry that she almost demolished the machine, but due to the severe pain, she immediately lay down on the medical equipment. I'm a dignified Super Saiyan, how could I be poisoned? Han-Asia said dispiritedly. Queen Hannah, did you eat something secretly today? The alien in charge of the medical staff inquired. Han-Asia thought for a while and immediately thought of something. I seem to have eaten Joy's fruit. Crash. The crowd fell down. Han-Asia gave them a strange look and asked, what's wrong with you guys? A female Saiyan jumped up and said, Your Highness. Joy's fruit is for Bales. Their planet is heavily polluted. So the food on that planet is contaminated with super heavy metals. Bale's digestive system is used to those things, so they are fine after eating Joy's fruit, but lifeforms from other planets will surely die if they eat it. Your Highness, you only had a stomachache maybe because you're already a Super Saiyan. Ah. So that's why. I wondered why the fruit was so unpalatable. Knowing that Han-Asia wasn't pregnant, but just had food poisoning, Saiyans on the spaceship were relieved but also disappointed. After all, ever since Lin Chen led Saiyans to start new development like Phoenix going through Nirvana, the issue of Lin Chen's heir has become a topic of concern to many Saiyans. That's why if the queen was really pregnant, it would have definitely been a big happy event for all Saiyans to celebrate. At this moment, an alarm sounded in the spaceship. Oh no! It's Cooler. Not good, Queen isn't in any position to fight right now, we have to protect her. Although we will let down the Ifrits, we can only retreat. After weighing the pros and cons, Saiyans decided to retreat, and only a few Saiyans whose power level exceeded 500,000 decided to stay and buy time for the spaceship to retreat. Outside the spaceship, Cooler was floating in front of the spaceship. Seeing no traces of the female Saiyan, his lips curled into a cold smile. He had suspected that something may have happened to that female Saiyan, and now it seems to be just the case, otherwise why wouldn't she come out? Taking a deep breath, Cooler shouted, Woman, come out. Our fight isn't over yet. The rumbling sound caused the air to vibrate. A moment later, the hatch of Saiyon's spaceship opened, and Cooler thought that woman was coming out. Unexpectedly, the people who appeared in front of him were ordinary Saiyans who were like ants in his eyes. Humph. Sure enough, did something happen to that female Saiyan? Cooler. Your opponent is us. In order to cover the retreat of the spaceship, as soon as the Saiyans appeared, they erupted out with all their strength and threw storm-like energy waves towards Cooler. But the energy waves could only tickle Cooler. Seeing these people jumping out like clowns and daring to attack him, and seeing that Saiyon's large spaceship had turned around to leave, Cooler was even more convinced that something must have happened to the female Saiyan. Otherwise, with Saiyon's personality, how could they run away without a fight? Taking advantage of your illness to kill you. Cooler didn't care what happened to the other party, as long as it was an opportunity to attack Saiyans, he wouldn't let it go. Supernova. Cooler smiled cruelly, and with a flick of his hand, a large fireball containing enormous amount of energy appeared above his head. Immediately afterwards, the fireball rushed towards the Saiyans and the spaceship behind them. Seeing the huge fireball slowly approaching, the Saiyans, who had planned to buy some time, suddenly became desperate. They shot energy waves which collided with the fireball, but it was completely useless, and all the attacks were swallowed by it. The spaceship that has turned around hasn't even been able to start accelerating at this time, and could only watch the huge fireball slowly approach. Watching the Saiyans heading towards doomsday, Cooler burst into loud laughter. Killing these Saiyans today is just a prelude to his future destruction of Planet Vegeta. But just at this moment, in front of the huge fireball, a figure suddenly appeared. Sensing the approaching fireball, the figure turned around and looked at it with an imposing look in his eyes. The next moment, vast yellow-green aura erupted out like a volcano. In the distance, Cooler saw the sudden appearance of the figure and his eyes froze for a moment, and then without hesitation, he turned around and fled, not looking at what was going to happen to the fireball behind him. It has to be said that Cooler's response was extremely sensible. Because just as he was fleeing with all his strength, the figure that had just appeared extended his hand, and his palms suddenly exerted force, blocking the huge fireball. Ha! The figure then raised his foot and kicked the energy fireball that could destroy the planet into the sky like a ball. Rumble! Moments later, the fireball exploded in outer space, changing the weather of planet Ifrit. When the dense energy disappeared, the figure turned around and asked the Saiyans, who were frozen in place, "Where's Hana?" "Your Majesty don'ts." The Saiyan warriors came back to their senses. Their eyes were full of tears as they were about to bow to Lin Chen in the sky. "It's fine, don't waste time, where's Hana?" "Queen is on the spaceship. Everyone is safe and sound." A Saiyan replied. Lin Chen breathed a sigh of relief, and then asked, "Is she really pregnant?" "No." Hearing this, the Saiyans smiled wryly. "Your Majesty. Princess Hana is not pregnant, she just has an upset stomach." Upset stomach? Lin Chen was speechless, and he didn't know if he was relieved or a little disappointed. "Go back and take care of the queen, I'll complete this mission." After saying that, Lin Chen turned around and looked in the direction that Cooler had fled. At first, he planned to go and watch the World Martial Arts Tournament, but he was forced to come here. "I can't look for Hanasia to talk about this, so I have to inconvenience Cooler. Anyway, it's better if all the frost demons are dead." The next second, Lin Chen chased after Cooler. At the same time, on Cooler's side, he was running away quickly using almost 100% of his strength, flying back towards his spaceship. "I am not mistaken. It's that guy. That guy is the one who killed Frieza." When Lin Chen appeared just now, Cooler recognized him immediately. He hasn't seen him for a few years, and as expected, the Super Saiyan has become stronger. Even if it was just a quick glance, Cooler could feel the enormous power contained within the other's body. "I am Cooler, the Emperor of the Universe. Why? Why am I feeling so scared? Unforgivable, unforgivable." At this moment, Cooler suddenly heard a sound of whoosh behind him, and when he looked back, he shivered. Behind him, Lin Chen was like a golden demon, slowly drawing closer to him. Author's digression: I really wanted to make Hana pregnant here, but I think it was too early for that, so I had to delay the birth of the protagonist's child. As for having an upset stomach, I remember there was something similar in the original work. Saiyan could have an upset stomach. No. Cooler screamed in panic, but couldn't stop Lin Chen from approaching. Seeing this, Cooler gritted his teeth and used all his energy to condense an energy ball before throwing it below him. The energy ball contained enough energy to destroy a planet. Seeing this, Lin Chen, who was chasing after him, could only frown and turn around before flying towards the energy ball. In an instant, Lin Chen appeared in front of the energy ball without putting up any defense. He just shouted loudly, and a yellow-green energy shield appeared in front of him, directly enduring the fierce attack for Lin Chen. The terrifying energy that was enough to destroy a planet immediately exploded. Boom! The majestic and terrifying energy spread out in all directions, the energy ball turning into a huge blaze which soared for thousands of meters into the sky. The clouds above were swept away in an instant, and invisible ripples suddenly spread out in the space. At this moment, the entire planet seems to be shaking slightly. Cooler flew into his spaceship, and as soon as his feet landed, he ordered, "Take off. Immediately fly away at full speed." What? King Cooler, the spaceship's engine hasn't warmed up yet, flying at full speed may cause the engine to explode. An alien pilot turned around and reminded him. But as soon as he finished speaking, a beam of light pierced his head. Cooler said angrily, "Who else wants to talk nonsense? Get out of here at full speed now." At this time, the smoke on the surface of the planet had dissipated and Lin Chen was standing unscathed in midair. He looked up and saw Cooler's spaceship heading out of the atmosphere, and raised his hands high, slowly moving them to his waist and adopted Kamehameha's posture. Kamehameha. The next moment, Lin Chen suddenly teleported behind Cooler's spaceship and pushed forward both of his hands. Me.ha. A thick golden energy wave was about to engulf Cooler's spaceship. But almost at the same time as Lin Chen performed his move, Cooler's spaceship suddenly disappeared from place, pulling away with a sonic beam before flying away. I was one step late. Forget it. Seeing that Cooler had escaped, Lin Chen had no choice but to give up, and turn to fly back towards Saiyans' spaceship. He didn't have time just now, but now he is going to properly educate Hanasia. It was all because of her that he missed the World Martial Arts Tournament this time. If he didn't sort her out properly, it would be hard to dispel the resentment in his heart. At the same time, in outer space not too far from Planet Ifrit, Cooler's rapidly moving spaceship suddenly stopped. There were ear-piercing red alarms resounding all over inside the spaceship. Cooler, who had calmed down, was standing motionlessly with his arms folded in the center of the spaceship command room. "Lord Cooler, the engine of the spaceship is broken and needs time to be repaired." Salza came over to report. Cooler responded, then asked, "Salza, what happened to Ifrit's database?" Ifrits are known as one of the oldest civilizations in the universe. Although their strength is nothing in Cooler's eyes, there is a database on their planet that has been preserved for thousands of years, which records many secrets of the universe. Cooler sent his people to attack Planet Ifrit for that database in order to possibly find ways to improve his strength. Analysis work has already begun, and technicians are already looking for information in the database that may be related to increasing strength. Salza paused and said, "By the way, Lord Cooler, I heard from the technicians that they found an interesting planet in the database. The planet was listed as a restricted area for living beings by the Ifrits." "Oh. What's that planet called?" Replying to Lord, the planet is called Big Geet Star. According to the records of the Ifrits, it is said that a demon who once destroyed countless ancient technological civilizations is sealed inside. Bang! Cooler's tail struck the deck. "Salza, after the spaceship is repaired, order it to go to Big Geet Star." "Yes, Lord Cooler." This is the end of a false alarm caused by an upset stomach. After Lin Chen returned to Saiyan's spaceship, he originally planned to teach Hanasia a good lesson, but as soon as he saw Hanasia, she started crying and threw herself into Lin Chen's arms. "Your Majesty, I'm not pregnant." "It's fine even if you're not pregnant, what's the big deal?" "But I really want to be pregnant with your Majesty's child." "It's okay, let's work hard in the future." "Okay. Your Majesty, let's start now." As soon as she heard it, Hanasia ignored that the two of them were in the infirmary and rushed towards Lin Chen. Because he was tossing around with Hanasia, Lin Chen missed the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. Knowing that even if he returned to Earth now, he probably wouldn't be able to watch the tournament, Lin Chen gave up on returning to Earth for the time being. Instead he prepared to devote all of his energy on training his mental power. In addition, he was also preparing to train Bardock during this time. As a Saiyan warrior whose normal state power level is now second only to Lin Chen, Bardock's strength has finally broken through the 1 million mark after Lin Chen unlocked his potential. According to Lin Chen's observation, the S cells in his body already met the requirements, and as long as he trains more, Bardock may become third Super Saiyan on Planet Vegeta after Hanasia. And once there is a third Super Saiyan on Planet Vegeta, if they encounter an incident like this one on Planet Ifrit in the future, Lin Chen will not have to save them every time. That's why Lin Chen intends to personally guide him. Meanwhile, Earth. Like in the original story, the World Martial Arts Tournament ended with a showdown between Goku and Turtle Hermit, who used the alias Jackie Chun. The result of the showdown was still Turtle Hermit barely winning the match. Turtle Hermit, who thought he had nothing to teach Goku, suggested that Goku start training on his own. At this time, Bulma inadvertently mentioned the Korin Tower and lookout that she had been to with Lin Chen when she was a child, which made little Goku look forward to it. He planned to find his grandpa's 4-star ball before going there to train. But on the way, Goku was attacked by the Red Ribbon Army, who were also looking for the Dragon Balls, and started a fight for the Dragon Ball with the Red Ribbon Army. And just as little Goku was charging through the Muscle Tower, somewhere in West City, a blonde-haired girl suddenly appeared on the street. Ah! I'm finally home. Tights stretched out and looked at the familiar surroundings with excitement, but she did not notice that the passers-by around her were looking at her with an astonished look in their eyes. Hey, did that woman just appear out of nowhere? She seems to be a ghost. Eventually, Tights took a deep breath and noticed others' gazes. She stuck out her tongue in embarrassment and put her fingers between her eyebrows. The next moment, the people in her surroundings who were still shocked, found that Tights had disappeared again. If it can be explained by blurriness before, then this time, everyone was sure that they had seen it. Immediately, a scream resounded at the scene. While Tights, who caused this small disturbance, was at the top of a nearby building at the moment. After being away from Earth for several months, Tights has returned after having learned instant transmission from Yardratians. Not seeing her family for a long time has made her miss her parents quite a bit, so she immediately began to sense the location of her family. Bulma and the others are all at home. Strange, this key, is Bulma fighting? Sensing that Bulma's aura was slightly chaotic, Tights frowned in confusion. Just then, an explosion suddenly sounded in the distance, barely audible, and there were countless screams and gunshot sounds. What's happening? Tights frowned and immediately teleported. When she appeared again, she had already appeared in a familiar home. As far as her eyes could see, it was the scenes of battle. Dr. Brief and his wife were hiding behind a table, while Tights' sister, Bulma, was fighting a purple-haired female soldier. Tights was about to help her, but found that Bulma and the female soldier were fighting back and forth, and it looked like she didn't need help. So she greeted her parents first. Dad, Mom, what's going on? Ah. Tights? You are back. Tights baby, let Mommy take a look at you. When they saw their eldest daughter, the doctor and his wife forgot their fear, and approached their daughter and greeted her. Even Bulma couldn't help turning her head and exclaim, Sister. Chance. Seeing this, the female soldier immediately wanted to sneak attack Bulma, but Tights extended her palm and released Ki towards her. As if struck by an invisible vehicle, the female soldier was sent flying backwards and slammed into a wall before fainting. Sister, there are enemies outside. Hearing Bulma's cry, Tights walked out, and sure enough, outside Dr. Brief's house, an army with a strange logo was exchanging fire with the West City's security forces. The security force appeared to be trying to rush into Dr. Brief's house to rescue, and the army was stalling for time. Hey, you all, this is my home. Tights yelled and rushed over, knocking down the soldiers with punches and kicks. A tank tried to aim its muzzle at Tights, but before it could fire, it was blown into pieces by Tights with an energy wave. Seeing the chaos on the other side, the security forces wanted to take the opportunity to launch a fierce attack, but when they saw the tank being blown up by a girl, everyone stood still on the spot. Clapping her hands, Tights went back inside the house. "Dad, what's going on? What's that army doing out there? You took care of them all." "Tights, I haven't seen you for a few months and you've become a bad girl." Dr. Brief was surprised. "Shut up. I saved you just now, okay?" In the end, it was Bulma who explained to her sister what had happened. It turned out that that strange army was the evil Red Ribbon Army, which is currently well known on Earth. Red Ribbon Army possess high-tech equipment and immense financial resources, as well as a group of ruthless soldiers, so regular armies are afraid of them. Recently, Red Ribbon Army has been eyeing Dr. Brief's Capsule Corporation. In recent years, because of the cooperation with Saiyans, besides Hoi-Poi capsules, Capsule Corporation of Dr. Brief has successively launched many new products one after another using technology from alien planets, such as high-strength alloys, new anti-gravity engines and more. These new technologies attracted the attention of Red Ribbon Army to Capsule Corporation, which was not noticed in the original work, and they repeatedly wanted to recruit Dr. Brief. However, the offer of the Red Ribbon Army was rejected by Dr. Brief without hesitation. And what followed was today's attack. Red Ribbon Army formed a special unit under the command of Colonel Violet, in order to kidnap Dr. Brief's family, but it was prevented by the lively Bulma. Hearing the news, West City's security forces rushed over and fiercely fought with the Red Ribbon Army outside. But if Tights hadn't arrived today, it's hard to say what the final outcome would have been. After all, Red Ribbon Army has many experts. Although Bulma has learned martial arts from Turtle Hermit for a few years, ever since Lin Chen and Tights got married, Bulma has lost interest in martial arts, and even her previous training has begun to decline. Damn Red Ribbon Army. They didn't to bully our family. Mom, Dad, wait at home, I will go and destroy the Red Ribbon Army. Tights said while clenching her fists. Tights, don't be impulsive. Yeah, sister, although you seem to have become stronger, even a Dawntuller army can't deal with the other party. Hearing what she said, Bulma and the others immediately tried to dissuade her in a loud voice. If I don't take care of them, do you want to live in fear every day of getting kidnapped, Bulma? No, no, Bulma said blankly. Dr. Brief's mouth twitched. It's possible, Red Ribbon Army is willing to go to any extreme. Sister. Hurry up and take care of the Red Ribbon. Don't. Bulma immediately shouted. All right. Tights nodded, then walked over to Colonel Violet, who had still not regained consciousness. Hey. Don't play dead. Tell me where the headquarters of the Red Ribbon Army is. Violet raised her head and sneered at Tights. Stop dreaming, I will not betray the organization. Tights didn't say much, rather directly fired an energy wave, blasting through the wall around Violet. Seeing the hole that was bigger than her body, Violet shivered and said, "I'll say it. Please forgive me, I know I was wrong." Red Ribbon Army's headquarters. Red Ribbon Army, which once had a commanding presence on Earth and terrified countless people, was receiving bad news one after another today. First, Colonel Silver's search team was defeated, and the Dragon Ball was robbed. Then, shortly afterwards, Muscle Tower in the north was captured. When the photo of the enemy who captured Muscle Tower came, Commander Red was even more furious. A little kid? Did our proud Red Ribbon Army lose to a little kid? Its unbelievable Adjutant Black, Commander Red's assistant, was also surprised. It's just that before they could come back to their senses, another bad news arrived. Colonel Violet, who went to kidnap Dr. Brief, was also completely defeated. What? After being stunned for a brief moment, Commander Red burst into fury. That good-for-nothing Violet. Pass down my order and call all the elite members back to the headquarters immediately, and the assassin mercenary Tao. I am going to let these people who dare to fight against us understand that the Red Ribbon Army is undefeatable in the world. Yes. Red Ribbon Army immediately went into full swing. The mobilization capability of an organization that can rival the world government is naturally no trivial matter. Soon, several generals of the Red Ribbon Army, who were scattered around the world, as well as the world's top assassin mercenary Tao, gathered at the headquarters. Humph. It's such a trivial matter. Mercenary Tao revealed a look of disdain when he heard that the Red Ribbon Army was entrusted with killing an unrestrained boy and kidnapping Dr. Brief from Capsule Corporation. Forget it, you can do whatever you want, but I won't take less pay. Of course. Commander Red nodded. Although Mercenary Tao is only his final trump card, just in case, he wouldn't try to save money. While, besides Mercenary Tao, the rest of the generals also took the mission lightly. In their opinion, for the unparalleled Red Ribbon Army, how difficult could it be to deal with a brat and a scientist? However, these people probably would not have imagined that while they were gathering together, a figure flew over and arrived near their headquarters. Is this the headquarters of the Red Ribbon Army? It was Tights who had arrived. Although Tights can teleport now, she was still not proficient in key sense, so except for familiar people's aura, it is difficult for her to distinguish the aura of strangers. So, she didn't use instant transmission, instead she flew over directly. As soon as Tights approached, reconnaissance planes of the Red Ribbon Army spotted her. It's just that the people on the reconnaissance plane were all stunned when they saw Tights flying over. Someone is flying in the sky. Ah, hurry up and notify the headquarters. These reconnaissance planes had just sent the message below when they were easily shot down by Tights. The sound of the plane exploding in the sky immediately reached the bottom. And one of the reconnaissance planes fell directly on the Red Ribbon headquarters base. The violent explosion caused everyone in the room to feel the tremors. What's going on? What's going on outside? Commander Red said angrily. Commander. Enemy attack. We were attacked. An officer replied. What? Who dares attack us, Red Ribbon Army? At this moment, a woman's voice suddenly resounded in the entire Red Ribbon's base. Red Ribbon Army. You think you can provoke us, Brief family? Boom, boom, boom. Energy waves fell from the sky onto Red Ribbon Army's base like artillery shells, instantly destroying most of the base. Before everyone, including Commander Red, could react, the place where they were was engulfed by the explosion. They didn't have the time to react in the slightest. Tights breathed a sigh of relief when she saw the base under her feet turned into ruins. Although her current power level has already surpassed 10,000 and in terms of absolute strength, she may already be the strongest on Earth, but this was her first time killing someone. However, Tights' mind quickly calmed down. After all, the ones she killed were heinous criminals. It's all Lin Chen's fault. It seems that after being together with him, my personality has somewhat become like a Saiyan. After Tights grumbled, she teleported away. Who would have thought that the Red Ribbon Army, which was supposed to have a chain of events with Goku, had to withdraw from the stage early because of the disruption caused by Tights. When Tights left, after an unknown time, an old man arrived at the ruins of Red Ribbon Army's base. A nightmare? Could this be a nightmare? Our Red Ribbon Army was wiped out in an instant. Who was it? Who did it? Just then, the old man saw that among the piles of ruins, a corpse was holding a picture in hand. The person in the photo was Goku, who destroyed the muscle tower. Is it this kid? Unforgivable. I, Jero, swear that I will use these hands to avenge the Red Ribbon Army. Help. Suddenly, a broken hand emerged from the ruins. Dr. Jero turned around to look and his eyes widened. It's you. Humph. Just in time. If it is you, I would definitely be able to make a successful work. On the other side, tracking the whereabouts of Dragon Ball, Goku arrived under the Korin Tower and accidentally met the Bora family. Not only did he find his grandpa's 4-star ball because of this, but he also learned that the tall tower was actually the Korin Tower that Bulma once mentioned. Korin Tower? I once heard from a friend that there seems to be an immortal in the tower. That's right. Legend has it that if you can climb the tower with your own strength and drink the sacred water given by the immortal, your strength will greatly increase. Great! This really is the place. Goku became excited when he thought of the immortal in the tower that Bulma had mentioned to him, and the lookout above the Korin tower. He immediately jumped up the tower and began to climb towards the top of the Korin tower. Although it was different from the original story, Goku still crossed paths with Korin in Korin tower. In the future, it is possible for him to get Korin's permission to go to the further up lookout. Ding! Confirming that the history has been corrected. Congratulations host for obtaining 1 time point. On the faraway planet Vegeta, Lin Chen was doing meditation training with Han Asia. This is image training that Krillin and Gohan underwent on the way to planet Namek in the original work. The two of them trained during meditation. Although in the original work, this training method was only used by Krillin and Gohan because they could not train due to their situation. But, in fact, this method can train mental strength. So, it was used by Lin Chen as a training method to temper his spirit. It's just that his training has been going well, but suddenly he heard the system prompt. What's happening? Are pies falling from the sky? Strange, how did I obtain a time point? System. What's going on here? Ding. Because of the influence of people connected with the host, if history gets corrected, time points can also be obtained. Someone connected with me? Who? And what did they do? Lin Chen's doubts didn't get clear until Tights teleported over from Earth. Knowing that the storyline which got messed up by Tights' actions, finally went back on the right track, Lin Chen couldn't help but admire the correcting power of history. Planet Vegeta. Since Tights had come, Lin Chen accompanied her around Planet Vegeta and the surrounding planets, and then asked Han Asia to accompany Tights, who had just mastered instant transmission on an adventure in the universe. While he himself resumed training. After a period of meditation training, Lin Chen could faintly feel that his mental strength had improved a lot compared to before. The result of this training was very notable. Therefore, Lin Chen plans to concentrate on training and make a breakthrough. It just so happens that on Earth, Goku and others' adventures have come to an end, and the next major storyline will be the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament in 3 years. I've heard that Goku has gone to Korin Tower. Although there wouldn't be any plot, it should have no effect on Goku's strength. After thinking about the matters of Earth, Lin Chen again put his focus on his current training. Mental training is a kind of training with a strong burden, and unlike physical training, where you can just eat a senzu bean when you are injured and tired, after mental training, you can only rely on the passage of time to let your mind relax and recover. Other than that, there is no other way. However, mentioning this, it is not that there is no other way. In fact, for mental power, there is something that is effective similar to senzu bean, allowing mental power to recover quickly. It is the Tree of Might's fruit. Lin Chen already verified this with the last few Tree of Might's fruits in his system space. Although, Tree of Might's fruits wouldn't improve the current Lin Chen's strength much. But it is a nourishing sacred fruit for mental power. Just take a bite and it can instantly restore the depleted mental power. Sigh, if I knew this thing is so useful, I wouldn't have destroyed the Tree of Might in the first place. Lin Chen scratched his head, and couldn't help but regret his impulsive action at that time. Should I go look for an eternal dragon someday and let it create some Tree of Might's fruits for me? While thinking about it, Lin Chen walked towards the council hall. During these days, to relax his mind after each training, he would go to the council hall to watch King Vegeta and Paragus handle administrative affairs, and at the same time to relax, he would also put forward his own opinions and experience the feeling of being a king. But before he could leave the palace, he saw King Vegeta and Paragus coming towards his palace as if they were looking for him. Your Majesty Lynx. The thing you left behind suddenly lit up. Maybe something happened on planet Namek. King Vegeta took out a green crystal ball similar to the Dragon Ball and said. Lin Chen glanced at it and recognized that the crystal ball was something he had been when he left planet Namek last time. At that time, Namekians had told him that it was a communication ball they created using Porunga's wish. There were 2 communication balls in total. No matter in which corner of the universe he is in, he can use it to communicate with them. If the communication ball glows, it means that planet Namek has encountered a crisis and needs Lin Chen's help immediately. When Lin Chen went to the parallel universe, he gave the communication ball to King Vegeta and the others and let them watch over it. Sure enough, after Lin Chen took the crystal ball, he could see that the crystal ball was emitting a faint blue light at a regular rhythm. Did something happen on planet Namek? King Vegeta, I'll go take a look at planet Namek. After saying that, Lin Chen immediately cast instant transmission. Planet Namek, it is the origin of everything. It is only by relying on Great Elder's unlocked potential that Lin Chen had the capital to fight with King Vegeta for the throne. Therefore, Lin Chen deeply respects Namekians. However, when Lin Chen rushed over to planet Namek, he found that things didn't seem to be what he thought. Before teleporting, Lin Chen thought that planet Namek might have been invaded by someone. But when he arrived, he found that everything here was as calm as before. There was no smoke or gunfire on the planet, and no evil aura could be sensed. What's going on? Filled with doubts, Lin Chen performed instant transmission again and arrived at Great Elder's home. There were also no signs of a fight here. Weird. Just as Lin Chen was about to land, Great Elder's house opened and Nail walked out from inside, and bowed towards Lin Chen in the sky. Mr. Lin Chen, Great Elder has been waiting for a long time. Mr. Nail, what's going on? Wasn't there an invasion by enemies? Everything is fine on planet Namek. It was Great Elder who asked Mr. Lin Chen for help with some personal matters. Personal matter? Great Elder will tell you in detail. Lin Chen didn't ask any further, instead he followed Nail to Great Elder's house. Long time no see, Great Elder. After not seeing him for several years, the Great Elder was looking much older. In fact, Lin Chen, who is familiar with the storyline, knows that Great Elder's lifespan was coming to an end. Long time no see, Mr. Lin Chen. You've gotten stronger than before. Great Elder opened his eyes slightly, then closed them again. Lin Chen asked, Great Elder, why did you suddenly contact me? I heard from Nail just now that you need my help for a personal matter. Yes, I looked for you because I hope that Mr. Lin Chen can deal with a person for me. It's a Namekian. Namekian? Lin Chen said in surprise. Mr. Lin Chen. Great Elder sighed softly. In fact, not long ago, planet Namek welcomed an unfamiliar yet familiar visitor. That visitor is the Namekian I want you to deal with. A pure evil Namekian. Evil Namekian? Lin Chen was stunned for a moment, and a name suddenly popped in his mind. Speaking of a purely evil Namekian, in his impression, apart from the great demon King Piccolo, who is still sealed on Earth, there is only one person left. Super Namekian. Slug. The Great Elder was slightly surprised. Mr. Lin Chen also knows him. Oh yeah, after all, Slug used to be one of the overlords who used to compete with the Frost Demon race for universe hegemony. It's normal that you've heard of him. It's really Slug. Lin Chen pondered for a while, recalling the information about him. Slug is a character from a Dragon Ball movie. Like Kami of Earth, he is a Namekian who was sent to an alien planet to escape during the planet Namek's catastrophe. But unlike Kami, Slug's evil heart is stronger and purer. He is a super Namekian with an evil heart. Mr. Lin Chen, after Slug came a few days ago, he forcibly seized the Dragon Balls of planet Namek and summoned Porunga. He then fulfilled 3 of his wishes through Porunga. The first wish was to let him regain his youth. The second wish was to have a much longer life than before. And the third wish gave Slug the recovery powers of an almost immortal body. As long as the core of his brain still exists, he can recover his body without any limits. As he listened to what the Great Elder was saying, Lin Chen began to frown, filled with doubts. Great Elder, why didn't you call me or Planet Vegeta when Slug invaded? Why did you just let him take the Dragon Balls? Lin Chen had promised the Great Elder that he would protect Planet Namek. If they sought help at that time, even if Lin Chen was not around, the people on Planet Vegeta would have rushed over to provide them support. From what Great Elder is saying, Slug should have been old and in waning health at that time, so even though he is a super Namekian, there was nothing to be afraid of. Then, why did they silently endure it until he made his wishes before contacting him? Lin Chen just found it a little inconceivable. Being asked by Lin Chen, Great Elder fell into silence, and after a while, he suddenly said to Nail, "Nail, I want to talk to Lin Chen alone, please leave first." "Yes." Nail obediently left. Then the Great Elder said, "Mr. Lin Chen, when Slug came, I told Nail and the others not to ask you for help, and I also asked all elders to hand over the Dragon Balls to Slug." "What? Why?" Lin Chen was puzzled. Great Elder sighed, "Mr. Lin Chen, to be honest, Slug is actually my child." "What?" "When Planet Namek encountered a natural disaster, in order to continue the survival of our race, many Namekians like me gathered all our essence and gave birth to children before sending them to outer space, hoping to preserve Namekian's bloodline. Kami of your planet and Slug are all such children, but it is a pity that among these children, very few of them survived in the end. Back then Slug had escaped to a planet called Slug. I sent him there because the people on that planet were weak, and even though he was a child, Slug could survive. But unfortunately, I missed one thing, and that is Planet Slug was actually a planet where the law of the jungle prevails. The evil thoughts on that planet turned Slug into a pure evil Namekian." When the Great Elder said this, he let out a long sigh. Lin Chen crossed his arms and silently listened to this unknown past. Planet Slug does not see sunlight all year round. The sky above the planet is always covered by dense clouds, so the resources on that planet are very insufficient. In order to survive, the creatures on the planet kill all day long to survive. The young Namekian was like a blank piece of paper, easily affected by the external environment. It was at that time that Slug was contaminated with too much evil, and thus became the pure evil Namekian he is today. Lin Chen agreed with the words of the Great Elder. Wasn't Earth's Kami infected by the evil deeds of the Earthlings which gave birth to Great Demon King Piccolo, his evil counterpart? Slug clearly encountered more evil deeds than Kami, so he became a pure evil Namekian, unlike Earth's Kami, who could retain a kind heart through his counterpart. Hearing this, Lin Chen said, "Great Elder, is it because of guilt that you let Slug use the Dragon Balls?" Great Elder sighed and said, "That's right. When Slug came to the planet and asked for the Dragon Balls, I recognized him immediately. At that time, in order to make Slug change, I told him about his past, hoping he could turn over a new leaf. After Slug heard me out, he told me that if I wanted him to turn over a new leaf, I had to give him the Dragon Balls. But I didn't expect that the evil in Slug's heart was too strong." "You are too naive," Lin Chen muttered in his heart. He didn't expect that even the so-called wisest Great Elder would become a fool when facing a family member. After regaining his youth, Slug left without harming Namekians, but not long after that, I heard that he started to reorganize his forces and many planets have been attacked by him. Because of May allowed Slug to become stronger. Those people's deaths are all my fault, so Mr. Lin Chen, please, find Slug and stop him from continuing to do evil." "Deal with Slug?" Lin Chen pondered for a while. According to what was shown in the Dragon Ball movie, as a Super Namekian, Slug is said to be even stronger than Frieza and Super Saiyan. Of course, in the end, his performance in the movie was just that. But in the end, this is a real world different from the original work. It is hard to say how strong Slug is. Ding! Congratulations host for triggering the strongest choices. Choice 1, reject Great Elder. Reward, 1 time point. Choice 2, promise Great Elder and look for Zuno to confirm the location of Slug and kill him quickly. Reward, Namekians regeneration ability. Choice 3, find Slug without using any outside forces and bring him back to planet Namek alive. Reward, introduction to psychic powers, beginner telekinesis. Seeing that the selection system was triggered again, Lin Chen was slightly taken aback. If he rejects the Great Elder, he can obtain a time point, but he doesn't even have to think about it. So, he should consider the next 2 choices. The 2 choices can be understood literally, one is a quick solution and the other is time-consuming and needs great efforts. But the rewards corresponding to the 2 choices are a bit interesting. There is no need to explain the Namekians' regeneration ability. It is second only to the regeneration ability of Magians. If Lin Chen can obtain it, coupled with his legendary Super Saiyan's physique, the final effect wouldn't be weaker than Cell's regeneration ability. As for psychic power, Lin Chen thought about it and quickly understood. In the Dragon Ball world, there are actually 4 types of powers. One is pure Buddha's strength, or physical strength. Punching and kicking, all these rely on this kind of power to work. Another is the power of ki, energy waves, and energy balls, all of these work on this power. Both of these can be regarded as physical attack power. There are also 2 other kinds of power, which touch upon mental level. One power is magic, and Majin Buu and Wizard Babidi are very good at this power. The second power is psychic power. In Dragon Ball's plot, Kaiatsu is the representative of psychic power, and Frieza seems to also have psychic power. In the original work, he used psychic power to kill Krillin. For Lin Chen, Namekian's regeneration ability, although good, is only an icing on the cake for his physical strength. On the contrary, the psychic power, which relies on mental power, can make up for his current shortcomings. In fact, Saiyans have always had shortcomings in mental strength. Their transformation system only strengthens their strength and not their mind. If it is an ordinary Saiyan like Goku, Vegeta, the lack of mental power may not be a big deal, but it is not for Lin Chen. Just the legendary Super Saiyan 2 form puts harsh demands on his mental power. In the future, if Lin Chen wants to advance further, he must find a way to keep tempering his mental power. So he definitely cannot miss this time's reward of psychic power. Thinking of this, Lin Chen immediately made his final choice. System, I choose 3. Ding. Confirming the host's choice, please complete the mission as soon as possible. Then, Lin Chen immediately said to the Great Elder, Great Elder, I agree to your request. Leave Slug to me. Great Elder reminded him, Mr. Lin Chen, Slug is very powerful. He is a warrior-type Namekian. I know you can already transform into Super Saiyan, but am afraid that even a Super Saiyan will find it difficult to deal with the current him. Moreover, because of the powers of the Dragon Ball, Slug also has an extremely powerful recovery ability. Mr. Lin Chen, you must be careful. I will be careful. Lin Chen smiled slightly, Great Elder, do you know about Slug's current whereabouts? Slug transformed the planet into a spaceship, and his whereabouts are erratic. The last time I heard about him, he was looking for something. Looking for something? Well, he'll have someone look for him. Lin Chen nodded. Due to the constraints of the mission, he cannot rely on external forces like Zuno and Eternal Dragons to look for Slug, so Lin Chen has long made preparations. After returning to Planet Vegeta, Lin Chen immediately gave an order to have Saiyans inquire about Slug's whereabouts. Even Galactic Patrol received a request from Lin Chen. At the same time, information about Slug was being collected non-stop. According to the information from Galactic Patrol, Slug in his youth had beaten all the experts on Planet Slug with his naturally extremely high power level, and proclaimed himself as a demon king. He gradually gathered many subordinates under himself, and began to run rampant in the universe, doing all kinds of evil. In his heyday, together with the Frost Demons, Slug was known as an intergalactic criminal. It's just that as he got older, Slug's strength gradually weakened and any news about him was rarely heard of recently. However, according to the investigation, the activities of Slug's group have become more frequent recently. 3 planets have already been attacked by Slug's group. The strange thing is that after these 3 planets were attacked, they all disappeared from the galaxy where they were located. Judging by the fact that each of the 3 planets is larger than the other, Galactic Patrol suspect that Slug may be replacing his planetary spaceship. Those 3 planets should have been transformed into spaceships for their use. Hearing the report, Lin Chen asked, "What about their whereabouts?" "We have already started the investigation, but Your Majesty Links, the universe is too vast and to find Slug's group, unless they attack again, otherwise, we may have to spend a lot of time."